Oh, got it.
Got it. All
Done
right.
and got it. Alrighty, I yield, bro.
All right, guys. Islam, peace and love, Hazy and more to ye all. Happy Moon Day, happy Monday, whatever you prefer to say, right?
Yay,
Some quick
yay.
astro bars for you. Yay, yay. I am Brother Shonali Mail, and I'd like to thank you for joining myself and my bro today for Intuition Monday. For everyone, if it's your first time or, your 100th time, whatever go. When it comes to Intuition Monday, we take one chart, we slice it up into 12 pieces, and we delineate on each section. But I am Brother Shonali L. You already know that all is well. And man, sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. The bros gave me the other appellation. What was that appellation, bro? Could you help brother out?
Braveheart.
Whoa, whoa.
Braveheart. That's always fun, yo.
And I am
Islam.
here with my bro, and he is.
Alrighty, peaceful greetings to you all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at Northwestern Mexham. How are you? Guys, welcome to our Intuition Monday for the Libran solar eclipse. And I yield the floor to our beloved brother and whom we're well pleased, Brother Shonali Mel, Islam.
Islam. All right, guys, and we're just going to get right into it. This cycle, I'll be starting this out doing houses 1 through 3, 7 through 9, and Brother Hassan will be doing houses 4 through 6, and closing us out with 10 through 12. So without further ado, we're just going to get right on into it. So let me, oh man, I got too many windows open. Boom, there we go. Get the screen share. That looks good. All right, cool. So here we go. For the Libra solar eclipse, we are starting out. It's pretty awesome in the Taurus zone, a Venusian ruled zone, right? And this will be occurring October 15th, 2023. Looks to be at 0400 hours, 55 minutes, 6 seconds at Aipota, Vernashu. All right, guys. So we have the sun and moon, right? The two luminaries and the first house of self, right? And this is occurring at 21 degrees, 7 minutes, Libra. And what's, very interesting, with this solar lunar conjunction, that occurs every moon cycle, is that it is at the exaltation of Saturn, the stage and comedy. So we could really be looking to see maybe a rise in some foreign comedy. Or maybe just a comedian or, an actor or entertainer maybe coming out with a new documentary, or maybe they made a change themselves, right? And, when it comes to, some wounded pain and how we, communicate, there's going to be a sense of balance here. Maybe things are going to be, said in a way that some would say it might be hot-headed, but it was just something needed to get off their chest. So, a lot of heartfelt conversations and reflections occurring here. Comedy and stage and just finding a balance in life. And yeah, foreign things. And, when it comes to, maybe some challenges, like minor challenges, guys, you can maybe find things, via the internet that could, help yourself, or maybe not comparing yourself to those on the internet and just being in your own lane and, taking anything minor, that is some would say a nuisance or a challenge, and, just taking that energy and overcoming any small and large obstacles. And using that to overcome those obstacles and really just seeing, how powerful that you really are once, self-worth is recognized and self-value. And with that, I will yield the floor. All right, so we're going to move now back on to the Aries zone. Select. All right, and this will be occurring for the Aries zone, October 15, 2023 on the Sunday as well. And we are near Manigreeta, Australia. It's termed, Australia today. All right, so now we have sun and moon in the second house of, self-worth, of, material possessions. All right, so with this, guys, sun and moon here, this could be opportunities to like remove some financial blocks, or maybe just doing like some cleaning here is what I'm also getting. Maybe doing some kind of deep cleaning within one's home, or maybe just working on meditation to get one's financial energy together, to get one's mind, body, and soul, all these different things together, right? Yeah, Mercury and let's see, Chiron's a second and eighth. So yeah, maybe receiving some kind of inheritance after having a heartfelt conversation. Maybe some things were hidden from someone, maybe their finances, or like grandparents' finances. Maybe they had something, or something wasn't given. And also it's an opportunity to put the right time and investment into your children's career if one has a children. If they want to do acting of some sort, or drawing or painting, assisting them. I put them in the necessary classes. And with that second house cusp being at 6 degrees, it's putting them somewhere where they can get the details of what they like to do and how they love. And with Mercury ruling over the ascendant here, and also the 10th house, when it comes to self and the career, there's some changes that are occurring here, and some challenges that can also be overcome by one's sense of higher learning, studying new things, being open to new kinds of information. Maybe for someone that wants to get into marketing, hey, you can come to Southern Hill Star and we can do and look at some things, with the different tools that we have to show where it's best to, promote your business or your entrepreneurship, where to travel to, where to find love, all these different things that are foreign that one might reject because of some kind of, ideology that's occurring. And, it's via the internet to help you with your spirituality. So, don't be afraid to do something foreign. And also just stay away from those who only seem to see problems in life. When it comes to like those that are in churches or priests or whatever, just stay away from those who only see the problem and don't really see the good in life. And with that, I yield the floor. All right, moving now on to now the Pisces zone. All right, and this is still occurring October 15th, 2023 on the Sunday. All right, and we are near Keluaran, Indonesia. All right, so we now have Sun and Moon in the third house. All right, so once again, it's back to, beauty. You think about the arts, I think like the several liberal arts, maybe, that is going to make a comeback of some sort. When you think about music and arts and paintings, all the things that were ancient, that contemporary now has been shunned, it will make its way back and get the light and shine that it needs to get. Right, Sun ruling the ascendant at 7 degrees, 12 minutes Leo. All right, so we're now back to, beauty and balance. When it comes to maybe they would say like fallen energies, right? Because the Sun doesn't do well in Libra, and Venus also doesn't do well in Virgo as well. But with the energies and an exchange with each other, that can be balanced by getting into the beauty of relating the details so that one can see the bigger picture. And when it comes to the relationships, the partnerships, one can harmoniously work with others while communicating any past pain or letting go of past pain in order to move forward in their life rather than being hinged up on past actions and inhibitions that are no longer serving one, and one can truly feel comfortable with doing things that are hidden or things that they're truly passionate about. And with that, I will yield the floor to my bro as he goes in for the Aquarius Zone.
Indeed, guys. Just sharing out as normal, right? Okay, so with looking at what we have here, alrighty, we're looking at the solar eclipse taking place in the fourth house, right? And as it was mentioned, there is a mutual reception, of course, by sign. And most astrologers be like, that's the only way to have a mutual reception. Sometimes I look at it if one planet rules, mutually a house of another planet that's, ruling it because that planet's in a particular house. I kind of look at that as a bit of a mutual reception also. However, traditionally speaking, Mercury's in Libra in mutual reception with Venus there in Virgo. So as I'm even looking at what I'm seeing here for the Aquarius Zone near Nagpur, India, anciently known to be and still is, for those of us that are scholars, Sindhu, right? Contemporarily called after that Hindustan, but now being called the Republic of India. With that sun and moon there ruling over both the second and first houses, I would say that we can look at that as maybe the closing of a chapter and the opening of a new one pertaining to the way that people have their self beginnings, as well as things pertaining to some entrepreneurial endeavors as far as the second house on Leo. And maybe there are some things in finding a unique balance and really comprehending if there are any so-called codes, statutes, policies, or ordinances that people may try to actually impose upon those that are maybe closing a chapter or opening a chapter pertaining to them actually maybe starting their own entrepreneurial endeavors, of course, right? Instead of assisting others. So with that being said, I think that there is an impossibility because I'm pretty sure Brother Sean spoke on how 21 degrees Libra is comedy and the stage. It's the exaltation of Saturn also, which is still retrograde at 0 degrees Pisces, 52 minutes in this chart, as we know that this is taking place for some portions pertaining to the planet on the 14th October 2023 and the 15th October 2023 for others. And what we can see here when it comes to property, fourth house, the areas of life for property for those that are in the Aquarius zone, maybe some property pertaining to the way you would like to commence your entrepreneurial endeavors, may have to find a way to be able to really find the beauty in the details while making sure what's being communicated about maybe regulations pertaining to that if you're someone who doesn't know any better, but to utilize, your energies within someone else telling you how to regulate it. If that's the case, find the beauty in that. Find the details pertaining to that. You may find some financial health that will help with that also, so that you do not feel like, hey, I'm trying to start a business, so to speak, quote unquote, or trying to go about my entrepreneurial endeavors, but I need these other beings to not think they can have a hand in my pocket and want to utilize some type of regulation, whether it's in the form of an ordinance, code, statute, or policy, to be able to do so. So I think it would be best to maybe find the humor in it, right? Find the humor in this new chapter in your life, and make sure you're mutually finding a balance in the details pertaining to what's being said to you about the property and the finances. Maybe you won't have too much of some wounded healing pertaining to whatever it is being said to you or what you have to say to others, with that reflection of Mercury with Chiron. And with that, I yield the floor. We're moving on to the Capricorn zone here. And this is going to take place in the fifth house while in the Capricorn zone for the 14th October 2023. Still a Saturn day for this particular zone and the location, Coimbani, Comoros. Happened in about 2000 hours, 55 minutes and 6 seconds for this particular time zone. All right. So with that being said, when it comes to self-expression and children and maybe even love, maybe there's some dating going on within this Capricorn zone. And there is some chapter that's actually happening. Maybe there's a growth spurt in this particular area in life, whereas there is a ending of one phase of, that particular interaction and or event pertaining to the fifth house. However, it's definitely going to be in the areas of finance and what's being communicated, or being able to find the beauty in what's being thoughtfully communicated. So with that being said, we can allow ourselves to maybe communicate to children the value in making sure they're secure within oneself. So I think here, maybe mothers and fathers can speak to their children as well as other people's children. Maybe families are coming together to be able to express some family values. Alrighty, and really communicate these family values in a way where there are some mementos that are passed down to maybe this couple who's decided to go from going steady to being quote unquote engaged. And what's being communicated is the reality of making sure that the communication is what's made paramount so that a balance will remain, so there's no surprises or no disrespect that takes place. And with that, I yieldeth the floor. And now we're going into the Sagittarius zone. It's taking place in the sixth house. So this eclipse is taking place pertaining to one's daily routine and everyday endeavors pertaining to your quote unquote everyday hustle, right? Your work, right? Zawiyat al-Baida, Libya, is where we're viewing from within the Sagittarius zone pertaining to this particular solar eclipse. And anything, of course, 1 through 6, right? As far as the sixth houses are concerned, these are all considered nocturnal charts where the moon, Venus, and Mars are the team in charge. So Saturn is going to be the most malefic planet here. So I think what will happen within this particular zone for this, we will possibly see that when it comes to areas pertaining to one's higher learning and their career choice, right? They will find out specifically that they may have to deal with some transformations that they don't like. They thought it was going to be some type of situation where, oh, okay, I'm getting this new quote unquote career, and I get in office, and then you realize that window, when you open up the blinds, it's a brick wall right there. So you're only looking at a brick wall because the next building is either that close or your window is overlooking an alley somewhere. So that's one thing. However, I will say you may realize that the boss pertaining to this particular place is someone who's very knowledgeable, but may have a lack of spiritual grounding. And you may find that even though you're making this new change here, you're seeing that you're going to have to set for yourself a means to really find the beauty in making sure that you keep yourself out of the danger of, being the object of someone's anger who is possibly in a higher position than you at this particular location pertaining to whatever it is you're doing to obtain resources for yourself and your loved ones. And with that, I'm going to yield the floor to our beloved brother in whom and well pleased as he goes in on the Scorpio zone. Brother Sean Ali Mel, Islam.
Islam. Gratitude, broski. So here we are, October 14th, 2023 on a Saturday, and we are near Gilmine or Gilmine, Morocco. All right. We have Sun and Moon in the 7th house now. All right, and the house of partnerships. So relationships, partnerships, contracts, standing up, equality for others will be the theme for this Scorpio zone. So we could possibly be seeing, I don't want to say like a revolt, but maybe the people are, standing up to past injustices that has, caused a lot of pain, not only to themselves, but everyone collectively. Also, maybe some kind of music or, foreign things will be occurring here. Maybe someone either wants to go to school to Morocco or wants to come over here to over in northwest of Mexico from Morocco to do some kind of studies. Maybe we'll see some literature come up, maybe some kind of literature and music. Would be interesting for maybe like the 12 or 1300s of some sort, maybe from around that area. When it comes to the liberal arts, music, architecture, and all those other things, we can see that spoken about and appreciated a lot more. Right? Maybe someone's even looking to move. Right, seventh house, looking to move away from their current location, their current shelter, or home, if you like to call it that, non-statutory. Maybe to move somewhere more beautiful, with that 16 degrees of that Libra, that seventh house cusp zone. Cancer degree. So maybe someone will receive some kind of either inheritance or opportunity, or maybe maybe their partner has a home of some sort that they can be moving to, right? And see, Venus and Mercury there in the 5th and 7th. Yeah, just creative projects here is occurring. Maybe someone's even going to be receiving some kind of award, maybe whether that be physical or just a clear sense of maybe some past life things, or just in the early life, pardon me, of prosperity to assist them to do more and do better for those around them. Right. So maybe having to, take a trip or a voyage somewhere, foreign away from where they're used to, but being okay with that and, just doing it. Right. And with that, I will yield the floor for the Scorpio zone. All right, now we moving on to the Libra zone. We in the Libra zone. Hey. All right, Granada, Brazil. All right, occurring on the Saturday as well. All right, October 14th, we have Sun and Moon in the 8th. Definitely 8th. Yeah, Venus is back in the 6th. So this is occult knowledge, some would say, for the 8th house, or intimacy, or the value of the partnership or the business. All right, so yeah, once again, this is back to finding a balance and how one really allows himself to see the beauty of things. Maybe they have been used to always being negative or being cold or being distant, but now they're seeing the beauty when it comes to relating to others, when they have foreign ideologies to you. All right, and with 9 degrees Pisces, pardon me, as the ascendant being ruled by Jupiter in the 3rd, there's going to be a expansion when it comes to maybe the inner dialogue or the communication. Maybe some things that one thought they forgot about are coming back up. With those nodes being Sun and Moon being so close to that North Node, like it's, kind of just leaving the past behind where it's at. And Mars is conjunct the vertex. So maybe even meeting someone to help you get past kind of those past things to really step into the future, your destiny, as some would like to call it, North Node in the 2nd. So be okay with stepping away from things that no longer serve you. Right. And Saturn's in his joy in the 12th. So there's going to be a lot of things that one can really see. And it's most likely probably their own mind, or maybe some beings are, dealing with institutions that have institutionalized their mind. So, breaking away from everything that's not serving you. Communicate what needs to be said, within yourself and within others. Don't be afraid to study and work with others, and not be so fixed within one group, or just fixed within your own beliefs. Right, get it to actually knowing rather than just believing, and look up belief and see what that means for yourself, and just start studying things that are foreign to you, so that one can really get to know their lower self more, they can understand their higher self more and start communicating and relating the beauty and the words and information, and also the service, not only to themselves, but to others, to really bring a foreign knowledge to everyone that everyone can understand and grasp. With that, even with, entertainment and, the service, maybe we'll be seeing maybe like a change in how the entertainment industry is occurring. Kind of be something to pay attention to for about like the next 2 to 3 years when it comes to writers and acting and what we view as entertainment. There's definitely gonna be like a transformation or a shift in that. So just be on the lookout for that. And even making some changes or getting rid of some mate's possessions, or just reading through maybe one's mate contract. Maybe they made a contract and didn't know about it. So y'all can assist each other with that to make it better for yourselves. And with that, I will yield the floor for the Libra zone. And now we're going to move into the Virgo zone. And we will have the sun in his joy in the 9th house. Right? So we are near Washington Junction, Maryland. All right, guys. Sun and moon right here at the 9th in the 9th house. So this is once again foreign learning. I'm really just getting that maybe someone's sister or brother-in-law is a preacher or is of a religious nature, or does some kind of work in the church. Maybe they'll be either making an opportunity or given the opportunity to go somewhere foreign and do some foreign studies of some sort. All right, we got Saturn ruling over the ascendant, and Saturn's in the 2nd house. So there might be some delays here pertaining to one's finances, or maybe delays on how they can really, discipline themselves when it comes to like love matters and movable possessions. Just making a plan and sticking with it and making the necessary adjustments and changes as needed and see fit. And Mercury and Venus doing their thing, right? And the 9th and the 8th, but Sun and Moon is ruling over the 8th and the 7th house cusp. So that's just dealing with, leadership and also, surrendering. So maybe someone will either be surrendering to something foreign, maybe having to change up how they do music, or change up how either they write or read literature. But changes on the way, and one have to be open to making those adjustments and just communicating with those that they can't really get a clear picture of it or really understand it. So yeah, maybe some comedian is gonna either have a special coming out of some sort, really just going in on their childhood, and what they learned while they were younger, and now how they see it totally different from now that they got older and have actually been able to study on their own without being forced or looked down upon for some things from their childhood. So yeah, maybe being offered a traveling opportunity job of some sort. But hi, bro, guys, for near the East Coast, this is really just saying let go of all past things. And what really comes to mind is like when reading The Clock of Destiny by C.M. Bay. I think it might have been book 1 when he was like early in the book 2, and he's like, before reading this book, put everything aside that you have come to believe besides mathematics. And I think that's will be good for beings to just kind of start back over with learning and removing themselves out from under the avalanche of lies when it comes to the dogma belief systems, the early education, public systems, and all these other different influences from the music to the TV, and be able to really see things for themselves. And they're gonna see it even if they don't want to see it. And with that, I will yield the floor to my bro. Does it go in on the Leo zone?
Islam. So, in checking that out, right, as far as the Leo zone is concerned, we will see that this sun and moon conjunction, and in particular, this one is a solar eclipse, and it depends on where you are from where you're seeing it. I think you'll be able to see a full eclipse the more of you that are near the, more in the Leo zone, actually, near the, West Coast Pacific time zone and mountain time zone, so to speak. You may see it a little more, however, a little more southwest is where you may see it more. Maybe before we yield, bro, you can show them a bit of that picture.
Yo, I just had that same thought.
Yeah, we were observing earlier. However, Leo zone, right, for Tokyo, Washington state, that is, right, Republic, happening on the 14th October 2023, still on a Saturn day at 1000 hours 55 minutes and 6 seconds. With that being said, look at this here. Mercury is ruling the house that this is in, and the sun is ruling the house that Venus is in, right? And why would I be looking to Venus here? Well, I get it. If we were to look at this as a whole sign chart, right, this solar eclipse would be taking place in the 11th whole sign house. Venus would be in the 10th whole sign house under Mercury's dispositorship. So not only would there be a mutual reception by sign, but also by house dispositorship, right? It's kind of just what I was talking about just a little earlier when I went over it, what I was speaking on when we were observing it in the 4th house, the solar eclipse. However, Jupiter ruling the chart here from the 5th is allowing us to really see there's something very fortunate in really expanding our self-expression, and we're pertaining to, let's recall some things that was higher learning from a younger age, or even when we were children, and we may be able to get some real fruit out of something that we may have miscomprehended in earlier stages in our life, be able to have an aha moment, Mercury in Libra, right? I finally get what was communicated some time ago, and now I have this balance, and being able to use that in a warrior princess kind of, mindset. Athena Pallas being there, still in conjunction briefly with Mercury and the sun and moon, right? So there's this like warrior princess energy, right? I look at Athena Pallas, or Pallas Athena, some people would say, as Xena, right? You guys remember the show Xena, Warrior Princess? That's kind of the energy of Athena Pallas. Looks like it's a diamond on top of a cross next to Mercury there, right? So there's this balance in where you can actually get rid of a certain thought process, which could have been or could be called ignorance, but you can get rid of that now and have a much better standing within your own thinking. Your own subconscious mind and heart are going to be on the same page here. However, your subconscious mind will be able to change your heart a bit here, and how you've been centralizing certain ideas, in particular pertaining to how you stand amongst your peers, as well as how you are being able to communicate to relatives and maybe even your immediate loved one. So do your best to be able to further expand inwardly, maybe some lessons that you learned at a much younger age, so that you can be able to have a much broader and world view pertaining to others' mindsets. And with that, I yield the floor as we go into the Cancer zone. This sun moon conjunction term solar eclipse will be taking place in the 11th house within the Cancer zone. Right, so we're looking at the TK Islands for French Polynesia for the 14th October 2023, still happening on a Saturn day, 0700 hours 55 minutes and 6 seconds. And here we have from this particular portion on the Earth, as this is being observed, both, and I do mean both, and this is interesting. There's this triple dispositorship happening here. Both Mercury and Venus are ruling over this solar eclipse here, by Libra being intercepted within the 11th house. While the sun, being ruled by Mercury and Venus, is ruling over Venus. So there's this dispositorship type energy going on where it may be a little bit of fascination and denial with one's loved one, your quote unquote spouse. Some details pertaining to the love and the finances pertaining to someone's career and or standing amongst their peers. It's going to have a closing and a new beginning. And what we trust is the communication can either be communicated in a spiritual way. I'm going to say maybe someone's dreams are going to be expressed here. Maybe this will be best to if there's some issues pertaining to how one is being able to take what's being communicated about the relationship, as well as how the financial energies are being joined together. That's overshadowing the standing pertaining to the relationship, the property pertaining to the relationship. And maybe this particular property could be a house of some sort, maybe what some people will term quote unquote real estate. And what may be happening here is a confusion and some clarity that's not happening and not knowing why. And I think some closure will be able to be reached here. And even for this zone also, we will see, even though this is taking place in the 11th house, Jupiter there now in the 6th is still ruling over the ascendant here. And what's really important for the communication and relationship with Gemini on the 7th house cusp, Mercury is not only ruling the 11th house, but the 7th to 11th is 5th from the 7th. With the moon eclipsing the sun being the dispositor for both joint financial energies, the 8th house, as well as the foreign affairs and or what's being communicated from, foreign from self. But when you're in a relationship there, it has to be communicated in a way that both can comprehend what's going on. And the communication is very heavy for this here. The ideals of everyone, what they're bringing to the forefront, must be put on the table and analyzed to take away what is seemingly a blind spot pertaining to the property of the relationship, which is the 10th house. The 10th house would be the relationship's property, right? The ancestral ideals also pertaining to the relationship. And those particular values could, in some way, shape, or form, be comprehended. However, it's going to have to take a lot of patience and some spiritual, and when I say spiritual, I mean breath descended type of exercising for both to be able to come to an agreement and comprehend what's being shared between one another. And with that, I yield the floor as we move on and close on out for the Gemini zone here. It's taking place in the 12th house right after a sunrise. Right? So this solar eclipse if I'm looking at this correctly, it looks like the Kaiapoi Corporation for New Zealand, 0600 hours, 55 minutes and 6 seconds, right? New Zealand Standard Time Zone. And this is happening on the 15th October 2023. And it will be Sunday for those near New Zealand within the Gemini zone. Interestingly, that Venus in mutual reception with Mercury there now in the 12th, Venus is in the 11th, is ruling the ascendant. Alrighty, so whole sign, actually, this would be taking place in the whole sign 12th house. Whole sign 1st house, and Venus would be in the whole sign 12th. But since we're looking at the Placidus version of this, and keep it in mind what I just previously said as far as solar eclipse being in the Placidus 12th, but the whole sign 1st, Venus being in the Placidus 11th, but the whole sign 12th. What is actually happening here, guys, is there is a rise being given to a change in maybe a particular justice system, or maybe the agents that are termed law enforcement here. What I actually see taking place is a bit of, it's very interesting too, how Jupiter in the 7th, right, is someone who is an expert on the values in foreign affairs. So maybe someone there is going through a change of leadership for the foreign affairs minister or foreign affairs policy. And Mars there assisting Venus in ruling over the first house, if I'm really looking at this correctly. Okay, hold on one moment. No, I am looking at that correctly. Venus and Mars are co-rulers for the first house here. So it's really letting me know that there's going to be a bit of some dominating energy in someone who may try to bring in their own beliefs and ideals pertaining to foreign policy and the values pertaining to that. So here is where it's going to be communicated in many people's neighborhoods. It may be even on the news now, or it's bubbling on the news near that particular region or within that Gemini zone pertaining to foreign policy, where people are really wanting to know where's the beauty in the details of that which they think is really brewing some unfairness in the long run. And with that, I yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Brother Sean Ali Mel. Islam.
Islam, I see justice coming too. Like,
yeah, the people are going to have to speak up eventually. I mean, what's ultimately going to happen is once the people recognize that it's their peers, only their peers, that are sitting these seats of whether it's a president, a vice president, a prime minister, a king, a queen, these are their equals and only their equals. And a lot of their equals in these positions are being very unfair and taking advantage pertaining to their position and only considering the height of the station that is their position far more than considering the trust of their equals that put them there. However, in a lot of different parts of Earth, a lot of beings are not seeing themselves as peers of all beings on the planet, especially those that are near the corporations of which they're sitting these seats. So they're only looking to impress their club that they're a member of. So let's say they're an attorney and they're a part of some attorneys club. And what happened is with their attorneys club and mixture with maybe some Masonic lodging, they have been, placed there. It wasn't actually where the people, their actual equals, voted for them to be there. It's just the internal administrative operations of a particular organization that has placed a particular being in a position to rule over, and falsely, and in a warlike and belligerent trustee fashion over all beings that are there. And I think there's about to come a time where the people are going to really, and I mean really, express and put into action, we're not gonna take it. That's what's about to happen.
no, we're not
like,
gonna take it.
Flat out,
We're
man.
not
Like,
gonna take the public agent shit anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of what's a brewing, man. I didn't even check the chat here, man. Let me see who we got in the chat that joined us, man. I'm ready to get some victuals, man. So let's see what's going on here. Alrighty, I see there are 7 of y'all still here in the chat. Brother Al Noor from Halo City Young says, Islam, Moors, peace and love. Islam to you, beloved. He says, I say to communication, indeed, brother. C. Thomas says, Islam, beloved brother.
Islam.
Brother Al Noor also says, give thanks on this part about welcoming change. Indeed. Brother Derek Blash Bay says, Islam, everyone, indeed. Oh, and Brother Halo says, Libra mindset. Yeah, I know, right? that balanced mindset, right? As I said, Brother Derek Blackface says, Islam, everyone. Islam to you. Peaceful greetings. Indeed. And Mother Carmisha says, Islam, nobles. Islam to you also. And peaceful greetings. Mother. Indeed, Mother Carmisha. All righty. So, with that being said, guys, the discussion is this Saturday. So don't forget to join us this Saturday. Remember, if you're not a member of TUPAC, which is so funny, man, how we just brought the world, the universally professional astrology community, TUPAC, right, as of mid-July. And now just a couple moon cycles later, all of a sudden, now the case is closed on Tupac Shakur's being, as people are saying on the internet now, him being unalived. I think that term is so hilarious. But I just really just look at it like, Seven Hill Star is a conduit for what a lot of people would say, oh, that's magic. We're not into magic. We're just so sincere and in harmony with the universe that there are things that just happen in terms of what seems to be a coincidence, where it's really not a coincidence. We're in harmony with the universe. That's just all I'll say there, right? I just think it's impressive. But join us Saturday for TUPAC's astrology concept correction discussion. It is 30 units for you to be a part of it via CashApp. 30 units. If you want the video that we're recording pertaining to that, it's another 10. All righty, at least a 10-unit donation to have that. So it'll be 40 total for you that aren't a member. If you have a student card and you're not a member, it'll be 15 units for you to be a part of it, to participate. And if you want the video, it's at least a 10-note donation for you also. So it's 25 for those that are not members yet, have a student card for being a student somewhere, right? Yeah, because it's not just, I know you already know you got your Moor student card, you're in there like swimwear. But let's say you're a student and you're like, oh, well, I go to Arizona State University or I go to UNC Chapel Hill. Cool, whatever. Let's see your student card. Okay, cool, great. Well, I'm in high school and my dad invited me. Okay, you got your student card. Like, that's kind of just where I'm at with it, just to let you guys know. Right? I don't care if you're taking up a trade and you're doing an apprenticeship under a union and they gave you a apprentice card. I'll even accept that. Right? You want to come and really be a part of this astrology discussion to better ye comprehension pertaining to this. And if you're a TUPAC member, you already know. It's just free for you. However you want the video is at least a 5-unit donation. How do you become a part of TUPAC? Guys, it's in Seven Hill Star. Just go to sevenhillstar.com. Top right-hand corner, you'll see the word more, right? You're going to click that MORE word, see the cascade menu and click on TUPAC and you will see what it is. It's 250 units for a lifetime, right? Whereas there are many other astrological societies out there and they want about $1,000 for a lifetime membership. We're not knocking them. I'm just saying, since TUPAC is new to a lot of people that we are actually here to cater to. All righty. We're going to be fair because we know a lot of y'all are so grown and been grown men and grown women, but never really known what the deal is. What you doing, man? Where you going? Oh, okay. Okay, you're showing them TUPAC. Got you. So yeah, that more button there and click on TUPAC. And when you join, you get your hands on the Quick Thinking Moon and Mercury workshop that we did on the 12th and 13th August 2023. So don't come to the website talking about, oh, that's old. They still got old stuff on their website. No, that's what comes with you becoming a lifetime member, period. We'll make sure we give you the record to that. And you're welcome in advance. So you will click on that actual thumbnail there, that flyer, and that will take you to there and let you know what you'll get, right? So not only will you get the Quick Thinking Moon and Mercury astrology chart and 7 Hill Star Astro Study poster, but make sure you get everything that was recorded. And the recording is not just the video, it's also audio. in any chat file that was typed during those 2 sessions also. And it's just maybe a couple of minutes under 10 hours worth of video, right? So you guys will not be disappointed. You join to UPAC. And when you do, that means any discussions that we're having or anything that, you know, when it comes to members, we're always giving, you know, hey, here's a quote unquote discount in terms of if somebody's not a member, you know. So those 2 UPAC members, and you know who you are, show up. Don't just be a member and not show up. But I get it if you're busy, you have other things in life you're doing. I get it. However, show up. All righty. And enjoy yourselves, because we make sure you get the videos, tell you guys to download them quickly. Right? Download those videos quickly, because I like to delete them from our Zoom cloud. Okay. So with that being said, Brother Sean had on the screen where the solar eclipse will be visible from. All right. And as you can see, it's an annular solar eclipse. All right. It's not total, it's annular. However, it will seem total for those that are right there within that region. Look, it looks like near the, you know, let me say it properly. The de facto survey for Oregon, Nevada, Utah, looks like some parts of, well, right there in the 4 corners for Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona, state republics, New Mexico, looks like Southwest Texas, all right? Around those areas, I guess near the Houston Corporation, maybe. Some guys would be seeing some of that energy, right? And for every one of us anywhere else, you know, we'll be getting a percentage of observing that. And so it's going, as you guys saw, it's going to be those of us that are, you know, in the Northern Hemisphere. We're seeing this, like those of us near the, you know, Maryland State Republic, we're seeing this at about 1:55 in the afternoon. If you're out there near the Central Time Zone, it's about 12:55 in the afternoon, which means it's going to be about 10:55 for you on the West Coast. And those on the West Coast might see it a little stronger than those of us on the East Coast, right? So have some fun, enjoy yourselves, and remember every hour that the eclipse, how long are they measuring for the eclipse to last, Brother Sean, when we just randomly look it up, like, or just briefly look it up on like these websites? What's the time they're saying? Right, lip of solar eclipse. Yes.
It's about 2.5 hours. So, where are you scrolling? Where are we going?
Really? Is it saying that for this particular one on the 14th and 15th? Because I remember one time we had eclipses for like 3 hours.
Let's put October 14th. Okay, looks like it's gonna vary.
Exactamundoski. That's what I'm talking about. So it looks like the effects of it. That's interesting. That is very, very, very interesting. So we'll look at the minutes. Like,
pardon me, bro. I'm on this should be 2023 and not 2024. Here we go.
No worries. That's why I was kind of thinking like, then you heard me hemming and hawing a bit. But it is what it is. What are we looking at? So they're saying 5 minutes and 17 seconds. So that's interesting. That's very, very interesting, because I want to know, like, when does it start up brewing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of what I was looking for. But if we're going to go off 5 minutes, right? Yeah, I want to look at that. Like, when's it a brewing? You know what I mean?
Let's go down a little more.
about an hour and 15 minutes of partial eclipse, right? Then 4 to 5 minutes. That's what I was looking for. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for, yeah, we probably looking at about 2.5 hours of this energy, which would let me know that, you know, it's about 2.5 years of an effect for some, you know, of us in certain astrological circles would be looking at it like that, right? The effects of the solar eclipse when you got, you know, I think it's 1 year per hour as far as the effects. So however many hours the eclipse is long, you would take that hour and make it a year, and any division of that hour, you would have to find out, okay, well, how do I divide 12 months, right? How would I divide 12 by 60, right? So I think that would be pretty easy for you guys to figure out to do, you know, 60 divided by 12, and you should get a pretty awesome number, right? Let's just see. Let's just help you guys out. And I'll make sure I'll be just as accurate as a calculator to divide 12 by 60. And it gets you 0.2, right? So what's 2/10 of a month? All right. So 2/10 of a month. Well, what's a tenth of a month? Well, I guess we could look at it as what happens when we divide 365.12 by 12. Let's do 365.25 and divide that by 12. Gives us about 30.4375 days. So a tenth of a day could technically be 3.04375 days. So about 6 days would be 2/10, right? So that means that every minute, break it into 6 days. I think I got that right, because if I'm taking an hour, which is 60 minutes, and I'm dividing 12 by those 60 minutes, and I come up with how many days, according to us looking at 12 months, and we're dividing that, and it's giving me 0.2 for 12 divided by 60. That's roughly 6 days, right? Just a little over 6 days. So for every minute, you can look at it as 6 days. So if we're looking at an hour and 15 minutes before, and then an hour and 15 minutes after, that's 2.5 hours. But we're looking at 4 to 5 minutes. Well, 4 times 6 is 24, and 5 times 6 is 30. So could we say somewhere in the middle of 2.5 years, right? So can we go 2 years, 6 months, and 24 days, or 2 years and 7 months? And in the middle of that time, is there going to be something serious that we can expect that's in harmony with that annular solar eclipse? That's how we look at that. You're welcome, right? That's a brief lesson in analyzing a solar eclipse, right? All right.
Some of that eclipseology.
Yeah, I know, right? Eclipse study. All righty. So with that being said, and I appreciate you, Brother Sean, for bringing that for all to see. Brother Halo says, yo, indeed. Peace, Muslims, indeed. And Mother Sahara says, peaceful greetings to all. Indeed, beloved mother.
Peace, mother.
Indeed. Peaceful greetings to you also. Guys, thank you all for joining us. The food smells great. It's coming from downstairs, so I'm about to be outie. But I'm just serious. So with that being said, thank you all for joining I and Brother Sean for our Intuition Monday. We'll see you guys Wednesday as we go in from on the 5th October to the 11th October, right? We always give you guys 7 days in advance every Wednesday, so you can at least get a brief look at what it is. But never forget, guys, schedule your mirror sessions with me. Get your mental magician report from Brother Sean. I know it's a lot that we offer. the entry things to do is your mirror session. Mirror session is for those that really want to learn to read their astrology and comprehend it. You know, why not want to study yourself every day? You know what I mean? I really think something need to be done for those of you that are coming into this knowledge and information, and you coming out of an oppressed mindset and situation of growing up because you're from the hood. Then this is what you need to be getting with, straight up. All right. And at the end of the day, really make sure you enjoy yourself. Mother Janelle Blashell says, peaceful greetings. Greetings to you too, beloved mother, right? Brother Derek says, wow. I guess because we went in on that, just on that eclipse energy there. So yeah, so with that being said, guys, there's a lot we can share and we can make it really simple and easy. You know what I mean? I get it. Sometimes when we speak and how we speak and what we speak on could seem like it goes over your head. We make these things so easy when you come into discussions with us. You know what I mean? Because we can definitely put it in ways where you guys can be like, I never looked at it like that, but now it makes sense. And that's our charge. In order to change the people, you must change their literature. So we're doing what Prophet Noble Drew Ali charged us to do. Other than that, though, guys, we love you all so much. Any questions, comments, and/or suggestions going? Wizards. Brother Sean, any questions, comments, and/or suggestions you have?
Nope. Yeah, guys, just be on the lookout and let us know, when we go in on Intuition Monday and when we go in on Wednesdays, like, let us know if y'all see anything that we delineated, come up so that we can find a clip or, just share it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Yeah, and see y'all Wednesday or tomorrow if y'all are showing up for Newbie Tuesdays.
Indeed, Newbie Tuesday, right? Is talking about for those of you that are brave enough to love yourself and be a part of lawful living, or at least reach out to us, DM us, and we'll get you the link to the Zoom that's free. Just because it's free doesn't mean that it's not worth it. I know sometimes people think I need to express myself as a Federal Reserve agent and give Federal Reserve notes because that's the only way that it means it's worth something. How many of you beings out there have transacted an exorbitant amount of Federal Reserve notes or debits and credits, got packages, and got no remedy? However, come to the Jurisprudence Gym on Tuesday, and you're a newbie, you can come in for free, ask whatever questions you can possibly ask, and get a lot of things answered for you. Just remember, the issue is not you do not know things that are discussed. The issue is ye are exercising your comprehension. You're just strengthening your comprehension so that you can comprehend what's being said and then be able to utilize it by even teaching it to your loved ones. Stop saying, oh, that's over my head, man. I ain't that sharp. I don't know stuff like that. That is the most falsest, the worst kind of, I'm going to act like I'm humble. Stop it. That doesn't make you sound humble. That makes it sound like you're trying too hard to sound like you're humble and down to earth. Sound like a poser. Flat out, you just sound like you're posing. Look, if I sound like I'm down to earth and I don't know much, yeah, that'll make the people like me. Mediocrity is so poor to have as a quality within one's personality. Stop it. Don't be mediocre. All right. So questions, comments, and/or suggestions going Twizzeyes. This is the part where I and our beloved brother, whom are well pleased, Brother Sean Lee Mel, says, be yourselves and donate. You guys will see our cash apps there in the description, right? Because look at what we're doing. This is what episode, let me stop. This is video 413. We've been freely sharing information so many places to so many people all across the planet. When you're on the internet, you're being heard across the planet, period. And we do a huge amount pertaining to ministry, right? The Moorish Divine and National Movements First Aid Ministry it begins with Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey. Not any posers that are out there from near the Chicago Corporation who thought they was taking on First Aid Ministry. Let's just put that out there, guys. The Moorish Divine and National Movement's First Aid Ministry starts with I, and it continues with 7 Hail Star, And what we do is make sure you guys have information that if all you got to do is just love yourself and want to really strengthen your comprehension. That's it. That's all you got to do. All righty. It's not hard. Please love yourself. It's no other way to say it, but you guys, you have to really love yourself. Like, do yourselves a favor and really love yourselves. All right. So with that being said, no more questions, comments, and/or suggestions going Frizzes. This is where I and Brother Sean say, make sure you guys get your victuals in, eat healthily. That's the type of eating good I'm speaking about. Eat healthily. As well as when you go to rest and recharge, make sure you rest and recharge well. We'll see you guys next day at Lawful Living with Malika and Sunny for Newbie Tuesday. That's what we're calling it. Newbie Tuesday at the Jurisprudence Gym. And then we'll see you Wednesday as we go in on the 7-day Tropic Medical Astro Weather Report to give you a look ahead 7 days in advance for the 5th October until the 11th October. And this is where we say we love you all. Namaste. 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 Islam, 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 y'all. Peace.
Peace.